your most powerful ability in the game acquired, the run is going to get quite a bit more crazy very soon.
Absolutely massive, Toadette. Grips just took a few deaths getting sent back to that safety station.
I heard you guys like lore, right? Well, we have go fast left, we have go fast up with enemy, we have go fast down, and now we have go fast up without enemy. Charge jump acquired.
And welcome everyone to a weekend full of Ori. This is just the start, featuring two extremely skilled runners in the All Skills Tournament of 2022 in the round of 32. Ronny versus Ciarenni. My name is To Kill and I'm joined on commentary by OG tonight. OG, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty well. As well as you can realistically be doing at about 1 a.m. in the morning. But I'm excited to have some Ori. Always excited to have more Ori in my life. And I'm sure that this race will deliver in one way or another.
Yeah, indeed. And if you are like OG and you want to have more Ori in your life, you will have one of the best weekends coming up. We have 6 All Skills matches in total over the course of today and tomorrow. One coming up in an hour and one in 2 hours. We have tomorrow at 1 a.m., 7 and 8 p.m. UTC. And we have the semifinals of Will of the Wisps happening tonight as well as a showcase in a marathon by Rin and Ronny himself as well tomorrow at 1 p.m. UTC at Architon. So a lot of Ori to come, but yeah, we have 2 very excellent runners, part of the community for over 4 years on both sides, and ready to show off their skills.
Yeah, exactly. Ronnie, obviously the slightly more experienced of the 2 runners, joining way back in February 2017. I can't believe that was 5 years ago already. He's got a PB of 27:22. Working on that sub 27, but at the moment that's solely held by Lucy. But that's only All Skills. He also has a very competitive time in All Cells, in both categories of All Cells, actually. Along with playing Celeste 140 Limbo, the list sort of goes on and on.
Yes, Ciarenni on the other side has also joined the community back in 2018, but unfortunately has not been quite as active maybe as Ronny in that regard, but both have PB'd fairly recently, so hopefully both are on their A game and show off some great Ori right now. And we have to see if our runners are ready and when we can start. But for now, here we have our nice bracket. Thanks for everyone involved for keeping that updated. You can see that the winner of this match will be facing either Noxitu or Apsogami. That match will be happening later. But with that, we are getting our go from the restreamer. That means we have 30 seconds left before we start with the race. So yeah, we will just get to see some hopping around, I'm sure. OG, since you're right here, do you think we will get some energy in Glades?
Well, I mean, it's apparently 10%, but I don't know. I wouldn't buy that. I've never seen anything that only has a 10% chance of happen so often. If odds were really that stacked, I'd be winning a lot more money with the lotto. But instead, I guess Ori just likes to inflict suffering on all of us. Likes to, have us stay in the game for as long as possible. We just need those frames.
Yeah, I mean, more Ori is always great, but of course we're trying to hop in the most optimal way right here as we go on to the left. Both runners successfully skipped the prologue, 10 minutes less to worry about.
Damn, I wanted more Ori. Damn.
Yeah, this is unfortunately not the right channel to watch Prologue.
Oh, what a shame.
Yeah, but we have been saved by our energy as we don't get rammed by the Rhino, and we are about to pick up a sign right here.
Yeah, I mean, signs are pretty good at making you stay in the game a little bit longer. Whether that's, tilting you off the face of the earth and making you start your run again, or just by deciding to whiff a shot and, you really want to attack that Frankie that's like a centimeter in front of your face? Nah, don't worry about it. I'm just gonna, whiff at some speck of dust out in the middle of nowhere. Looks like Ronnie's actually doing pretty well, doing a no-stop method through that Frankie fight. Sign misbehaving a little bit there for Ciarenni.
Yeah, I believe both are keyboard and mouse runners, so maybe both are using scroll wheel to attack a bit faster. No energy drop so far, at least on the side of Ronny, also not on the side of Ciarenni, so both have been spared so far, but there's still a long way until the wall jump tree, so everything can happen as we're just gonna collect those 2 keystones to get further into Sunken Glades. The damage boosts, of course, are intentional and hopefully mean that we will get some successful ghosters to watch even less off sign and everything. And yes, ghoster goes through for Ronny. I do believe he does not go for fourth health cell, so hopefully his deaths, if they happen, don't happen in too bad of places.
Yeah, I mean, we've sort of already missed like the first big death. Like probably the most punishing death at the start of the run is dying, to that top slime before you do Ghost Store. Getting sent all the way back to after the Frankie fight is always pretty painful. But I'm looking to see if either of these runners are going to be low on health. So not low on health, low on XP, and then the game is just going to really make them want to stay. They have to duck back into the spikes, and then bam, energy drop. Yeah, back to Ghost Door we go. Looks like Ronnie's got his XP sorted out though. Ciarenni obviously a little bit behind because he did go and collect that 4th health cell, and even Gertrude's not dropping XP. Sorry, energy rather. This is a really energy-less run at the moment, and Ronnie just collecting wall jump.
Yeah, and that means that he will be spared from any energy pickups animation over the run. So yeah, it looks like both our runners have successfully avoided the energy. Got, of course, on the side of Ronny already the 2nd energy will level up on the way out, as Ciarenni has already leveled up on the way in. So at least we don't have any problems with that level up. But of course, there's still some level ups that we have to worry about, as Ronny with some optimal hopping has also made quite a substantial lead right now, and that only in Glades. Yeah, really showing off why he is number 2 of all seeds in this tournament, as Ciarenni is also doing a great job. Glades is always a big point of problems for runners, especially if you haven't been in Glades for a while. These slimes are snipers.
Oh yeah, they're brutal. I mean, I will say, something about Glades that doesn't really get spoken about. Whenever you watch, Lucy or Rin or Tachi or Ronny, whenever you watch any of these like top tier runners, perform and you go, oh, let me just side by side, it's only jumping, right? How much time could I be losing? They just make up time out of literally nowhere, on the way to wall jump and then on the way to dash. Like the amount of, clean movement that they have, the amount of minor flubs that you have that you don't even notice, it's just ridiculous. So, even Ciarenni being, 30-ish seconds behind already, and he hasn't really had any major movement flubs. It's just, Ronny just dealing time throughout the start of this run.
Yeah, definitely. But also, Ciarenni and Ronny both saving some more time by not watching cutscenes, because who wants to watch lore besides OG, apparently? As we are in.
There's gameplay in the prologue. Come on.
I mean, just play prologue percent, I guess. I don't know if that's a thing, if anyone's ever done that. But,
I mean, I'm trying to get people on the all achievements bandwagon, but no one wants to do it. But anyway, moving aside and switching the focus back to all skills, looks like Ronny is barely going to make this fast cycle. Pretty free if you've got, less than a 28, apparently. And Ciarenni's just grabbing the orb now. Actually, it does look like Ronny is doing the new cutscenes deck that Prim found the other day. This saves a couple of seconds because you don't need to run back across to the pedestal. You just carry a save anywhere and drop it down. And Ciarenni has an unfortunate death.
Luckily had a safety save fairly close. It's a really common safety save as this pit is just known to kill Oris. It is dealing 3 damage and basically impossible to get out once you're in. But yeah, on the side of Ronny, we now get to some cutscene stacks as Ciarenni is getting the planned level up. XP seems to be alright. Both have not skilled Magnet as far as I can tell, so we will see some interesting Frankie walks.
Yeah, that's what I was just noticing as well, that Ciarenni wasn't, collecting that XP from that slime after the level up. So hopefully we won't have too many Frankie walk shenanigans. Ciarenni actually getting surprisingly close to that fast cycle. But, sort of one laser cycle behind as they're going to do a bit of a high five. And Ronny just going to screw it up.
Ronny watched the cutscene after the tree. That is kind of funny.
So, I guess, we can already just, PB pace on the left. Don't worry about it. Ciarenni is, I'm not entirely sure what Ciarenni's PB splits are, but, I'm sure that Ronny's, the run's basically dead as far as he's concerned now.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure that in his eyes, that's a good thing, just to not have to worry about a potential PB while you are on stage. I don't know how bad of a case of nerves Ronny has usually, but yeah, I can imagine that having the added stress of potential PB, especially of a runner of this caliber, is definitely a lot of pressure. But yeah, Frankie Walk is absolutely no pressure apparently, and we are through. Hopefully no problems with the brambles. Yep, gets through and gets to the energy. So no problems there as Ciarenni is lifting the statue. Let's see what he kind of decides to do. Seems to be going for a sort of cutscene stack as well. Sort of a bit more old-fashioned, but should work hopefully if everything goes to plan. It is very finicky, so let's see how it goes. We'll have to rekindle that save and then everything should be okay. It looks to be in the correct position to me.
Yeah, that does look right. Did Ciarenni just level Magnet? Ronny also just casually getting Grotto Cycle on the other side of the screen. Don't worry about that. That's, could do that with his eyes closed. Looks like Ciarenni sort of got the rando equivalent of this CS skip, where you go and you check the map zone, because why not? So the time save there looks like it's been largely negated. But, that's totally fine. And actually, swapping back over to Ronny, he's going to do the blind movement here, so we can expect not to see any sort of game storage going into Ginso Tree.
Yeah, I think Ciarenni got game storage, unfortunately, there. But yeah,
Sounds like a scroll wheel problem to me.
Yeah, the synchronized blind movements at different trees were so satisfying to watch, not gonna lie, as Ronny gets trolled by grotto walls, just normal things to happen, gets grotto skip second try, gets the baguette jump first try, so I'm pretty sure half the chat is very happy about this, as Ciarenni is luring this Frankie.
Classic French restreamer here. Did you showing us a replay only for baguette jump? We haven't seen one before. During this broadcast. Hopefully we'll see another one when Ciarenni comes through, and I imagine that'll be it for the rest of the restream, as I don't think we have any other, French named tricks. At least to my knowledge. Ciarenni does, with Magnet, I'm pretty sure, go through level up after Frankie Walk, and I really feel like Death Gauntlet is just misnamed. It should really be Free Gauntlet. Just seeing how easily both Ronny and Ciarenni have made this area seem. I don't know what's so deathly about it.
I will be sure to remind you on stream. If you die there. It can be a very daunting
Me,
area.
die? Never. I'd never die
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. Ronny just completely obliterating the walls of Grotto, making them look easy as well, like not even bothering without any weird shenanigans on the wall, not dropping any jumps as Ciarenni is close to the double jump tree, but yeah, we kinda expected this race to be one-sided with the difference of calibers of runners, but Ciarenni definitely doing a great job, and Run, of course, as well. Let's see if he can get the cutscene skip here. Gets it. Of course, as you mentioned, won't be doing the game storage trick here because he already used that ability point.
Yeah, and we even saw, Ronnie sort of marking out an X there. Ciarenni isn't doing any blind movement there, so I'm not sure if he's going to be doing game storage or if he's just going to level it up later. But yeah, as you were saying, Ronnie's really making, walls in general in this game, let alone grotto walls, look like, this has just been ported into Will of the Wisps. There's no sort of funky walls at all there. It's all smooth as can be. Also just super clean. Ginso at the moment. Ciarenni on his way to grotto skip. And we'll see if he can get this one going first try. Actually making a safety save, so I'm not sure if his confidence in this trick is too high. But it does, it looks like an okay setup to me. We'll just see when he gets that as Ronnie is on his way to Scroll City.
Hey, and a successful grotto skip by Ciarenni. Does not go for the baguette gem, but yeah, those walls are definitely looking a bit harder on Ciarenni's side. But also no problem so far. Ronny getting the 4 cycle. Not quite the 3 cycle, but still some time saved by that quick flame right here.
Yeah, and sort of unfortunate that even though Ronnie is like dropping time there, because Ciarenni has gone magnet, he's not even really going to be able to make that time back up. It's sort of just a limitation of going magnet. Part of, it's just a little bit slower than getting quick flame.
Yeah, unfortunately, but Ciarenni definitely showing off some nice tricks as well. Getting the dash glides where he needs to get them, as Speedrun has now. Ronny has now acquired the bash tree, and most powerful skill in the game indeed. And Ronny will make it look especially powerful, I'm sure.
Yeah, it does drop 20 frames there, thinking about debashing that first shot instead of just dashing over it. So, shows that all of us have a bit of time to save, some more obvious than others. Ciarenni climbing these grotto walls and actually climbing up them pretty smoothly. This climb here near the lasers can be super brutal. And something that we haven't really spoken about is this rainbow dash that Ciarenni has going on at the moment. So this is actually part of the base game. You can get this by doing the Konami code sort of at the rainbow on the way to Swamp. So like right where Gumo is, there's a little rainbow. And if you do the Konami code there, you can get it. But otherwise, if you're speedrunning and you're a speed cheater who doesn't care about, the intentions of devs in the video game, you can just click a checkbox in Live Split and that'll give it to you straight away.
Ronny getting a bit fooled by the boss XP that's just lying on the ground, unable for him to be reached. I'm not sure if that is part of his XP routing or not, but
yeah, I think that XP routing is a little bit generous, even in the magnetless, sea juggle route. You can definitely afford to drop a bit of XP here and there. There are other places to pick it up later in the run. As long as you have charge dash when you get to Feather. It doesn't really matter exactly where you get your XP. As Ronnie's about to make Swamp Entry just look totally free.
Yeah, let's see if Rainbow trolls or nope, no phasing shots. Lucky for Ronny, as this is a hard trick. I can assure you all, this is a hard trick.
Yeah,
Ronny
it's
is just
annoying.
that good.
It's annoying, right? The better the runner, like the less, Ringo screws them over. Let alone the rest of the trick. If you're watching a top tier runner, Ringo will just like behave nicely for them, and then you load up the game, and it's like, oh no, sorry, I'm gonna phase the shot through on the way up and on the way down because I don't like you.
Yep, definitely has happened before. But Ciarenni is now in the puzzle room. Hopefully does not get trolled by it. Puzzles are, well, part of Ori, but sometimes the puzzles don't like Ori. Gets through it nicely. Let's see how the combat goes as Ronny is approaching Ringo for a second trip, and hopefully Ringo will behave nicely for that one as well. Doesn't do any safety save, so yeah, needs to get it, but gets up quite nicely without any trouble. What am I even talking about?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's almost more of note if we do notice Ronnie putting down a safety save than if he doesn't. We'll see if he gets this career cutscene skip, sort of what cutscene. There was a time ages ago where I believe Ronnie got a record with missing career cutscene skip. That was an interesting time. And he does take a death. I was too busy talking about his previous failures to get the trick to notice exactly how he died.
In the infinite damage spike.
Nice. But he's just going to show you how much he's grown over the past couple of years and go, you know what? I'll just do career cutscene skip again. Why not?
And he can do another cutscene skip if he gets the shot. Yep, no problem. We don't even get to see the cutscene. As he is now at Sea Flame Tree, and we all know how useless Sea Flame is, but at least it allows us to get some more abilities.
Yeah, it's like the dumbest skill. It's like, you know what? Like, Air Dash and Charge Dash are both gated by this dumb ability that does literally nothing. Like, that's really the only reason why we collect it. I mean, sure, you use it here to break the wall. I see you complaining in the chat, Rin, pipe down. We use it once in the run. Alright, come on. Like, it's not a good skill. I'm sorry.
It's not a good skill in speedrunning. I will admit that I sometimes use it in rando. But yeah, Ciarenni now at Kidup, hopefully just get off to the spikes. Yep, without a problem. Recommits the save to not having to do that again as Ronny is entering Valley. But yeah, Ciarenni is definitely also showing off some great skill, and I think it's always nice to see, like, whenever I see a top runner, I always think, okay, what does the average person look like? Not to say that Ciarenni is the average person, because he definitely isn't. He's definitely way above the average person playing Ori, but it gives a bit of perspective, at least, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, if you think that Ciarenni is average at playing Ori, then I really need to direct you to some, casual playthroughs, because Ciarenni is crushing it at the moment despite the time difference. A little bit disappointed that Ronnie's not going for my sweet new time save that everybody in the community loves. Looks like, he's just throwing out a guess. He's probably about 20 seconds, in the red at this stage. And Ciarenni's just about to make his way over to Snomptree.
Yep. Yeah, we now have Charge Dash, seeing some nice rocket jumps. Hopefully the birds will be nice to Ronny. But as you mentioned, the more experienced the runner is, the more it seems like all the enemies are in their favor as well. But, oh, no, actually gets a quite unfortunate angle as Ciarenni is now approaching one of the meanest enemies in the game with Ringo. Let's see, places a save just to make sure. Now bashes him over. Does not take a bath. Ooh, I'm surprised.
Yeah, I mean, Ringo's definitely the true final boss. At least Kuro actually, sacrifices herself and, is good in the end. I don't know if we can really say the same thing about Ringo.
Gets first try swamp entry,
nice.
Very nice. As Ronny also gets first try sea juggle. quite some different tricks, but now can acquire that sunstone because he actually still has an ability point to skip that cutscene. You never want to accidentally skill something and then be in front of that cutscene and be like, guess I have to watch that 80-second cutscene? I don't remember, but it's a long cutscene.
Punching me to go get my popcorn. That's really what you're doing at this cutscene. Sort of similar to the one near Grenade Tree. If you mess it up, you really can just walk away from the keyboard, go for a nice walk around the block, come back, and be ready to start playing without losing any time. Ronny's got some nice air dashes through the Dorito spikes, not doing any stomp cancels. Slightly disappointed. He's going to collect charge jump, and Ciarenni's about to have another encounter with everyone's favorite frog.
Yeah, let's hope Ringo behaves for the sake of Ciarenni, as Ronny is going through Dorito caves. Just as a stats info, Ciarenni is currently 18 seconds behind PB at Stomp, so can definitely make up some time. So maybe we will see some PB here as Ronny just abuses a bird to go down very fast and into Misty Woods, where, I don't think we will see a lot of Misty Woods with how fast he's going.
Well, I mean, we'll see most of it, just not for very long. I mean, there's not really a whole heap that we don't go to. As now we get to see our first encounter with, the big bad of the video game over on Ciarenni's screen. Prior to that, we had only seen the secondary big bad in Ringo. But yeah, Ronny not doing the rekindle here either, so it looks like he's sort of playing it safe, going, alright, this run's not a PB, let's just, make our way through the end of the run.
Yeah, and Ciarenni is getting a 5th health cell here for some extra safety. Means he can damage boost once for Sorrow Bash. I'm not too sure which technique he will use for Sorrow Bash. There's everyone there has a different setup, so it will be interesting to see, as Ronny has now acquired the most useless skill besides grenade jumps in this entire category.
I wish that grenade jumps was a skill, are you using macros? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Are you saying that you're using grenade jumps as a skill?
No. I am not. I'm just saying that climb doesn't have a use besides for grenade jumps.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, it is slightly faster than wall climbing regularly, so it is technically faster.
We get it so late.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right. It's sort of useless, especially at the caliber of runner. That Ronny is. You're really not going to be climbing walls too often, as Ciarenni is now has recently collected rather the aforementioned most useless skill, which is Charge Flame.
Yeah, we have a bunch of useless skills in the speedrun, unfortunately. We just have to collect them all, but Ronny gets the level up, made sure to kill the Frankie before the room, so to ensure he had enough XP, as Ciarenni is skipping some more lore, because who wants lore? And is using Z-Flame, so actually making some use out of it, as collecting some of the And we are heading out of Misty on the side of Ronny with some charge dashes, and we'll teleport back to the start, because this is a Metroidvania after all, and we need to do some backtracking at least.
Yeah, I mean, Ronny looks like he's pretty keen. Typing in Twitch chat, get me out, with a significant number of T's after. Ciarenni is actually, made up about 5 seconds between Stomp and Charge Flame, so we could actually be to a decent time here for Ciarenni, making a quick backup save, safety save rather, down there, because nobody's ever been trolled by that bird boss and it bouncing a weird way off the geometry ever. And Ronny is just skipping a bit more lore.
Yeah, we don't want to see that cutscene because it's really mean, and we don't want to cry every single time. As Ronny is surely gonna show off some grenade jumps. Oh, Okay, that is not the angle you want, but
He just wants to show off more grenade jumps, I think.
yeah, that is definitely his intention, as Ciarenni is now placing a save for later use and stomping some rocks onto Kroa's head. With that, he's at feather, as Ronny is teleporting to the final escape. Or, well, to swamp to get to the final escape. We're still a bit off, but I'm pretty sure Ronny will make the time go by with absolutely no problem.
Yeah, I mean, Enter Horror is like a super fun split because it's pretty straight. You know, it's like just get from point A to point B. You know, you don't have to really do all that much. But you have all of your movement skills, so it's a place where you can really show off. You know, traditionally the end of and the second half of Misty rather is sort of where you show off a lot of your movement. But personally, I think that Enter Horror is a bit more of a fun split. So Ronny gets through there, you know, super easy, and Ciarenni's going to go through Sorrow Bash. That looks like a good bash angle. Does take his time on it, and an easy C-dash bash up onto that bird and gets his way out. We'll see if he decides to make a safety save, and he does. So he'll be holding on to this this Sorrow Bash for the rest of the run, and is just going to sacrifice the one rocket jump off the bird, you know, to make that safety save.
Definitely a sensible decision if you aren't too comfortable with your health and with the movement in Sorrow. You don't want to get set back, as Ronny did a one skip in between. We didn't even see half the final escape. Hopefully he can get through without any problems. But
yeah, I mean, speaking of confidence in movement, you know, this last 30 seconds has really demonstrated the difference that, you know, and God knows how many hours Ronny has in this game, but like the amount of hours that you need to just go through everything and have it all be super free as he gets this grenade jump, skipping another 40 seconds, because why not? Because, you know, Ronny needs an even faster time. You know, versus Ciarenni, who's, you know, still going through, like, first or second try Sorrow Bash. But, you know, it's just like that difference between having the confidence to go through everything super fast versus using your energy to make a safety save.
And the fifth health cell coming in clutch. Oh, we're gonna see some lore. We are gonna see some lore.
Lore
Be
pug.
prepared, everyone. Unfortunately,
The true lore
the
is...
wrong thing.
I think the true lore was on the left as Ronny was just doing a couple of Naru hops. You know, now we get to see Naru's workout regimen and see exactly how, you know, she maintains her form. But instead, we'll see how she gains this form as, you know, Gumo brings her back to life, I believe, is in this cutscene.
And it's really unfortunate because Ciarenni was also ahead of PB at C-Jump.
Yeah,
that's
21
so
seconds as well.
Yes. But I mean, it's all for content, of course. Ciarenni just probably saw in the race time chat that run has finished and wanted to show us some lore. So here you go, OG. Enjoy it.
Okay. I mean, I'm pretty sure that I saw someone in chat saying that it's around 64 seconds, this cutscene. Obviously, it'll be a little bit more because we got, you know, some frustrated mouse wiggling once he realized that he'd leveled something up early. But I guess we'll have to see as we get a little bit closer to the time. I mean, it's in the realm of possibility that this will still be a PB, right? I mean, we saw just the other night, you know, Poogle was 55 seconds behind PB at Enter Horu, and then PB by like 20 seconds. So, you know, we can definitely still see a good run coming out here from Ciarenni.
Yeah, and we see quite the same scenes, just a bit of difference in time in Nibel, as Gumo and Naru are heading to Mount Horu.
I mean,
and Ciarenni has stated in chat that he did it all for content, of course.
Oh, of course. You know, so I can anticipate that we're going to be watching an additional cutscene around near down near Grenade as well. Thanks, Ciarenni, big fan. So we'll see. Gonna make his way, into Misty. Obviously, we're not going to go enter Horu just yet, even though we do have the key to the dungeon. We don't have, the actual prerequisites for finishing the run. This would more be like a 80% Noobta, I guess. 80% SR type run.
We could
At this stage?
we could make a category without climb and grenade, just for the fun of it.
Sounds a lot like 80% to me. 80% SR.
I have no idea about any percent, but we get a glimpse at Ku on the side of Run, as Ciarenni is showing off some clean movement throughout Misty, no problems. Is at full HP after healing twice with some saves, so should be fine as well. As, yeah. Eiko coming up with the name most skills as a category, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's really ranks up along with, tricks I like percent. And Ciarenni's just gonna face plant into some dashes. Thankfully, 5 HP coming up pretty clutch. And he's gonna collect climb here. On the left we get to see the lovely names of everybody who made this fantastic game with no bugs whatsoever. No exploits, nothing like that in this game.
Yeah, and you mentioned it before. I just need to appreciate the rainbow dash again, because it not only it looks nice, but it also makes grinding all skills a bit harder because you can't hear the charge dash sound. So yeah, I am just really appreciating that Ciarenni chose to run with the with the rainbow dash, even though it is kind of a bit of a deficit. But yeah, rainbows are just always great.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it sort of depends, right? I mean, the amount of, all skills streams that I've watched, I feel like I barely need to actually have sound playing, to sort of know exactly what it's going to sound like. And whenever I tune into a stream that has Rainbow Dash on, as soon as they get Charge Dash, I'm like, what the hell? Why are you dashing so much? What's happening? Because, the sound is exactly the same, or very close to it. So, we don't get very many booms. We just get a lot of, I don't know how to describe. Well, yeah, but I don't know how to describe that sound.
I mean, it's kind of a zoom, so
I guess. Ciarenni taking a painful death, thankfully putting down that safety save, and we'll actually get to see, some micro-optimization here. As Ciarenni is climbing up some of this walls, as I mentioned before, that is faster than doing some wall jumps. So, climbing his way back to a okay PB, saved 2 seconds versus PB between Sunstone and Climb. So, you never know, maybe those frames are going to count for something once we get to the final escape.
mini boss also absolutely no problem. Gets the level up, very important. We do not want to watch yet another cutscene.
What do you mean?
I mean, I'm pretty sure Ciarenni.
Yeah, Ciarenni probably doesn't.
I would be here for lore, but I am also in the best interest of runners, and yeah, that is usually not the best interest of runners.
Yeah, certainly not from a mentality standpoint. Recovering mentally from one error like, that we saw at Sunstone, Ciarenni's actually done pretty well to not just tilt into oblivion. But I know that making a second costly error is just, it's just not good mentally.
Yeah. Koala bringing up the point in chat that wall jumping perfectly is actually better than climbing, so you were
and I'm just gonna ask Koala just to send me a couple of clips of him performing that perfect wall jumping, and then I'll change the information that I'm giving out. These filthy tasses, Tachi is saying, oh, you lost 1 frame here. by not jumping on this pixel, and you know, same as Koala. You know, I mean, it really is all about human viability.
Yeah, that is true. That is indeed true. Setting up the save anywhere hopefully will not misskill anything, but looks good. Okay. We don't get to see Nara's dead. That is always a good thing.
Nice.
Not seeing him as
Yeah,
Ciarenni. Let's see
I
if
was
he
a
also does grenade jumps or not. Sorry for interrupting.
yeah, no, that's all right. I was a little bit concerned when I didn't see Ciarenni do like a dash glide in because I'm not entirely sure where the exactly where the trigger is. I typically just like dash glide in, and then when you stop, it's like cool, save now.
It's
So I was
like-
a little bit worried.
It's basically you have to look for Ori to turn around. As soon as Ori turns around, you can skip that cutscene. You know this because I don't know how to dash glide. As we see some more climb optimizations from
Well,
Ciarenni.
Look at the time save. And you know, Ciarenni is gonna need it. Getting word from the truck that he's around 50 seconds behind his PB at grenade. So I guess we'll, you know, sort of be able to have an idea whether it's feasible or not once we enter Horo, which should be coming up fairly shortly.
Yeah, but I would say it's definitely a really great run for Ciarenni, especially with the time he is currently doing. Like, being only 50 seconds behind is really not much, and all the tricks have worked out greatly for him this run. So, like, definitely putting on a great show, and like, you can't expect everyone to PB on stage. That just won't happen.
Well, I mean, it's interesting because Ciarenni's actually done like a super clean run. Like, realistically, he's only made like one actual error, you know, which has been the grand total of like all of the time loss that he's got. So it's actually like a super clean run from Ciarenni outside of the unfortunate misclick. I was about to say that it doesn't look like he's doing any G jumps, and of course, as soon as I'm about to say it, Ciarenni's like, "Nope, I'm gonna do one just for you."
I
But
mean,
it looks
you
like
didn't
his...
say it, so you didn't cast a cursed. You just
Yeah.
you were just about to cast a cursed.
Yeah. So looks like his PB is 39.26, and with the enter of around 38 minutes, it looks like this one is definitely not going to be PBing. Although, let's get a first try dual warp. So who knows? Maybe he's just going to whip out a first try warp skip, but it doesn't look like that's what he's going to be going for. He's just going to, you know, finish the run out solidly.
Which is absolutely fair. It's always sad to see when I mean, it could have been a PB by just looking at the times if it wasn't for that unfortunate misclick. But like, these things happen, and it's always great to see runners still go afterwards. And I can imagine that normally that would definitely be a reset point. So just being able
yeah,
to
100%.
watch the cutscene and relax a bit, maybe get a bit of hand stretching in. Definitely good idea on Ciarenni's side, as he is also now in the S-band, should have 6 HP, I believe, so does not need to wait for cycles or anything, can just swim through. Yep, gets through, now needs to be careful not to trigger Kuro, and does so. And more climbing optimizations, as he needs to bash towards the left. That was to the left, so we should be fine with the soft block. And yep, GG to Ciarenni.
GG. Yeah,
That was
Ciarenni finishing it out super cleanly. Unfortunately, because you brought it up, I do have to say that charge jumping is in fact a little bit faster than climbing. But, you know, Ciarenni does get up there at the end. You know, it's like, you know, maybe... Or, I don't know, maybe plus like 40-ish seconds, you know, versus PB, which is a pretty solid run, especially considering, you know, the 60 to 70 seconds that was lost from literally one misclick, as, you know, we get some more no hops to round out this race.
And GG to Ciarenni indeed, as we have the time. With 40.09, definitely a respectable time with what we had so far. And yeah, we will ask our runners if they want to hop in for an interview. So let's go ahead and do that.
Yeah, unfortunately, Ciarenni was, sort of skipping the wrong cutscene there. Ended up skipping, the final cutscene instead of that one at Sunstone. Is a little bit annoying of the devs that they didn't just make all of them skippable. A little bit rude. But it does look like we will at least be having Ciarenni coming in, so we'll be able to ask him a couple of questions about how he felt that run went.
Yeah, and Ronny also on deck, so let's pull them both in. GG to both of you, and
GG.
for a nice race.
Yeah, thanks. GG, Ronny.
Yeah, so going back to the start. Well, actually, just your overall feelings about your run. Maybe starting with you, Ronny. You kind of voiced some annoyance in the chat. In the run itself.
Was pretty bad. I'm not sure what happened at the May boss. I managed to not die, thankfully. But I lost the energy, so I had to kill it slowly, and then I had trouble getting out of Misty. Thankfully, no major deaths in the run, though, which I'm happy about.
Yeah, your run seemed pretty clean to me. Ciarenni, how do you feel about Sandstone lore?
I just love lore. One of the worst parts about speedrunning is that we skip all the cutscenes, so I just wanted to share one of my favorite cutscenes with everybody.
I was saying exactly that in the commentary, so I'm glad that I found, someone else, in the speedrunning community that has the same sort of lore tastes as myself.
Yeah, speedrunning is like reading a good book. You just have to go back to it every now and then. You gotta get the lore.
Yeah. Looking forward to seeing the prologue on your stream, next time I tune in, Ciarenni.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, this was actually super close. It would have been PB'd if you hadn't watched that cutscene. Were you kind of aware of that, or did you not have your splits open?
I didn't have my splits open, but when I got to Final Escape, I'm like, I could have PB'd if I had not misclicked the that ability. So, it is what it is. Nerves got me.
Yeah, it happens. Everyone fat-fingered at some point, so yeah. But with that, Ronny, you will be going on to facing. Let me scroll up because I am actually the winner of Noxy2 versus Absogami. How do you feel about that? And do you have a preference of who you want to face?
Not really, actually. They're both pretty strong, but I think I'm just gonna try my best not to get major deaths like usual, and just try to do my best.
Yep, seems absolutely reasonable. And for you, Ciarenni, will we still see you playing some old skills, or will you turn your attention to some other stuff for now?
That's something that I'm really thinking about, because I do love all skills. I've run it for a long time, and I recently got the PB, and I almost PB'd on this run. I do want to try some other Ori categories and some other speed games that caught my eye, so I haven't made my decision, but I still love all skills. I'll still run it, at least from time to time, if not consistently.
I also should inform you from Solarian that you can always go to Rando, and Rando is better anyway, and Rando gives you a hack, so feel free to join the Rando side of the community.
That is true. I do love randomized, and I've done Ori Rando from time to time, and I do like that you get free double bash in there, because double bash is just impossible.
Yeah.
Everyone else that uses it, I'm convinced is cheating, because I can't do it.
Seems about right.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe some rando in the future too.
Yeah, but with that, OG, do you have any more questions?
No, I don't really have any more questions for either of these runners. I just wanted to say GG again to both of you on a good race and on a good showing from both of you as well.
Yeah, And with that, the stream will keep on running because we have 2 more matches coming up. The next one in about 10 minutes will be... let me open the sheet again because
More Ori, yes, yes.
It will be a Squid Guardian 10 versus Saruka. And after that, an hour later at 7 p.m. UTC, we will see White Paws versus Dr. House. So don't go anywhere, just refill your drinks, and we will see you all with some more Ori action fairly soon. Have a wonderful break, and bye.
See ya.